Hi, everybody. Hi, happy Thanksgiving. Or not Thanksgiving. What was I going to say here? No, happy Thanksgiving. Hello. Got to wake up here. I'm just having my tea. Happy St. Patrick's Day. I wish it was Thanksgiving. I love Thanksgiving. Anyway, I've got my green on. These are my favorite color combination, pink and green. What do y'all think of that? Those are the colors of Kuan Yin, the female Buddha. All right, let's give gratitude to everybody. Hi, Tiger, Weiss Jones. Yes, subscribers can chat. This is the subscribers members mode. Hi, Sharon. Good to see you here, Sharon Ann. Hi, TK. Happy Purim. Oh, is Purim coming too? Right around the same time as St. Patty's? The happiest day of the year in the Jewish tradition is Purim. Okay, and Spirit Beyond the Stars. Hi, hello to you as well. Happy St. Patrick's Day. Now, everybody know the story of St. Patrick's? Because I don't. Hi, Sarah. Good to see you. Hi, Maxine Waters. Ooh, Maxine Waters has her dowsing rods. You can ask the dowsing rod if Whimsy's ever going to find a really nice boyfriend. Yeah, that's what I want to know. Hi, Jody Rogers. Welcome. Chantel R. Hi, Rosalind Fries. Pierre Walker. Lynn Raymond is in the house. Joseph Lara Cuenta. Hello. Ocean View. Nice to see you here. Sheila Edwards in the house. Joel Tilson. Shalom to you as well. SD Shakti. Well, my goodness, there's so many of you talking, so many of you saying hello. Here is today. It is Thursday. It is Hot Topics Thursday. We talk about whatever floats your boat. We can talk about the fact that Kanye West has gone completely insane. Yes, I did some gardening today. Yes, every time I garden, I get a cough. Yes, everybody here knows about it. I had no cough until I started gardening. Well, let me tell you what I did today. I took all the soil, I made my own compost. There was all this junk on top of it and worms on the bottom, right? From the old compost. I didn't know if it was going to work. I had big containers. This is just being done in my apartment building on the outside balcony. I turned everything over on one of those raised beds for my balcony. All these worms grew over the winter because I only had 100 worms to start with. Tons of worms. Yes, righteous. And then all of the recycled garbage that you had on the top now goes on the bottom. And the worms all go to the bottom, and then they find the new trash. So now I've got like a foot worth of dirt, beautiful, nice, and healthy. And I started my planting today. Woohoo! So it was mostly greens. I've only done half the flatbed. So I'll do the other half, I figure, tomorrow. I'm really proud of it. Oh, I'm going to have a boyfriend. Hopefully he's a nice man, Maxine. Thank you for doing that for me. They were happy worms. You know what I was doing? I was checking the alkalinity of my soil. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I make my own coffee with those filters, the recyclable ones, and a cone coffee maker. And I gathered them up and I put them on top. And so when I turned it, those go underneath. And then the ones from last year were under those. It does make a very dark, rich soil, which I guess the worms supposedly love coffee grounds. They love coffee grounds. They love eggshells. I'm learning. They love old vegetables. Like whenever I'm doing my vegetables, I gather them up and I put them there. So that is what I'm doing. And I figured out all my weight gain problems. I figured out what my weight gain problem was, and I have found the solution to my weight gain problem. Does everybody want to hear what it is? I love sugar, coconut sugar, right? So I thought, okay, I'll switch from sugar to coconut sugar. Coconut sugar has a lower glycemic index, but it's not as sweet, so you have to add more. But the thing is it's got the same amount of calories as regular sugar. So I was doing like a quarter cup of coconut sugar a day. You know how many calories is in a quarter of a cup of coconut sugar? So I found a solution, and the solution is that I ordered pure cane erythritol on Amazon. And the pure cane is erythritol. It's made from sugar, but it has 0 calories. And so I mixed it 50-50 with my coconut sugar. So what I've done is I've increased the sweetness because it's made from cane sugar. That's why it tastes like cane sugar. Pure cane, sugar-free sweetener. That's how you find it. But anyway, so now I use less, and I've reduced my caloric intake of sugar by about 50% or more. So it'll slow down the weight gain problem. Yes, the Pagans versus St. Patrick. Now, St. Patrick chased the snakes out, which are a healing symbol, right? The twine snakes. Isn't it also a symbol of the Druids? So they chased the old religions out. So that's my understanding. So when we think about the Druids, we think about the snakes, the sacred medicine, the sacred music, the sacred worship. So the churches take over in the 6th century, but was he in the 8th century? I believe he was the 8th century St. Patrick. Yes, 50 Shades of Purple, erythritol. Yeah, because erythritol is food for the bacteria in your digestive tract. So if you've had serious digestive upset, might not be the best thing. You chase the pagans. Well, he didn't succeed because there's plenty of pagan spirits in Ireland. Yeah. I'm going to go take a look one of these days. So how is everybody holding up with everything going on in the world with Ukraine and everything else? I am ready to blitz away if that's what people want me to do. If people have any questions. So Putin is doing kind of what he said he was going to do in the remotes, right? He's threatening nuclear war. He's hiding out in a bunker. He's threatening that if the Ukrainians don't surrender, he's going to bomb them. He's got control of a couple nuclear power plants. He's threatening to bomb those. He's become paranoid and said that anybody who's working against him is an enemy and a viper. I think he used the word viper. He's going to smoke them out. So do you think that his cabinet is frightened if he's in this kind of a mood? Anybody who's not for me is against me? A lot of questions. All right. I think what we're going to do... Yeah, he's a pretty scary guy, right? So we got a lot of blitzes to do. And who knows, we might even have time for Kanye West, who's been threatening physical violence against his ex-wife on Twitter. Not a good idea. All right, let's do this. Let's do the prayer, and then I'm going to blitz away. If you haven't had a chance to do so yet, please like, share, subscribe, all that good news. I don't know why, but I'm in a good mood. I feel like, well, I'm not going to go crazy with the prepper videos. I see these preppers, and I think that within reason, we should all prep if there's a flood or something like that. But the truth be told, if it was going to be as bad as the preppers say it's going to be, then why prep? Because who wants to live in a world where it's hell on earth? You know, it's like I'm just going to continue to plant my flowers, plant my broccoli, get my house in order, send loving thoughts to Putin. He's a sick individual. He needs to be controlled and contained somewhere, right? Happy worms. I've got happy worms, right? This is what Spirit keeps saying. If there's a disturbance in the hive, we have to take care of the problem. We can't say, oh, I'm going to just ignore him. He'll get his eventually. Not necessarily. If somebody is that disturbed, they have to be controlled because they will begin to disturb everyone and everything around them. And that's kind of what happened with Putin. He just started to disturb everybody and everything. And now it's escalated to the point where millions of people are suffering. And then they suffer, then they create suffering for everyone else, and it escalates, right? So now other people have to clean up the mess. So this is why, I love the prepper videos because I can tell that these are people that watched every single episode of The Walking Dead, every single zombie movie, and they've, these are people, they're Trekkies. A lot of them are like Star Trek people. You have the Star Trek people, and then you have the zombie apocalypse people. And these are the people that when they did their emergency prepper, they made sure that the Dungeons and Dragon was packed and all the board games, because they live in a world of science fiction and, and then you have the doomsday evangelical Christians that are, their prepper videos are even a little bit more disturbing for me because they seem to be excited and happy this is happening. And that's dangerous because if you're encouraging, do it, so that, like we want this to happen because then we imagine something great's going to happen as a result. That's really scary. And what we really need is cool heads, right? To just calm down, chop wood, carry water, be about your business to the best of your ability, take care of yourself to the best of your ability, but don't drive yourself crazy. All right. I want to call on white light protection for myself and this community as we ask permission from Spirit to access the Akashic records. We call on our spirit guides and good angels to be with us. Please give us the clarity and the wisdom that is needed to empower all of us on our journey to make the best decisions for ourselves, our families, the planet, the people we love, but also to help those that we may have strife with. And together we say, all right, so let's go ahead and we'll start with the questions. Yes, Geocosmic, he's he is a crybaby. Joel Tilson writes, America is sending thousands of drones. Very true. Okay, let's start with Kel Bell. She wants to know, should we be worried about the new variant of COVID? Should we be worried about the new variant of COVID? What is this? COVID-19. This is, what are they calling this? They're calling it something. No. It dissipates. I think it breaks into a common rhinovirus after a while. You can see hanging it up. Starts to break apart. Things moving very quickly, moves on. And then the magician, the scientists take control over it. There is some evidence out of Israel that a fourth booster might be warranted. Other people say no, it's not going to do any good. But I don't see a major health crisis because of the virus at this time. Partnership looks good between people, healing quickly. Things moving around April, Power, and Two of Pentacles leads me to think that they will probably continue to monitor it, but I don't see it being a problem down the road. There are concerns that maybe a new variant will come out in the fall, just because fall tends to be the time when we get all kinds of new variants for all kinds of things. But as of now, I think it's not going to evolve into much of anything. Yes, the copper broom. Putin has gone insane, and he can't admit he's wrong. So instead, he's just going to kill anybody who threatens him or in any way questions his version of reality, because he can't be wrong. And so because he can't be wrong, that's very dangerous for the Russian military, because it means that they're going to continue to send in troops. But what it's come out from this is how badly trained they are, that they were using old equipment. It reminds me of North Korea in the sense that, just like North Korea, they were talking a lot about how powerful they were. And then when the Americans and when the Ukrainians, many of whom were being trained by the West and trained by the Americans and by the Brits, when they came in to fight, they were using tactics from the 1940s. So it's not looking too good for them, which causes Putin, though, to become even more irrational, right? More desperate. I like the people ask what prepper videos do I like. Well, I think that if you look at Canadian prepper and the way he preps it, it's the opening theme of like a zombie apocalypse. You know, he's got his mask and he's running in the mask and everything's falling apart. You know, it's obvious these people grew up watching The Walking Dead. And they're storing all kinds of junk food. And the truth is, what's most likely going to kill a man like that is probably coronary artery disease. But it keeps him busy. It keeps him out of his wife's hair. He can go dig a hole in his backyard and imagine, right? But the truth be told, the number one killer of men, particularly men who suffer from high stress, is coronary artery disease, right? That's going to kill him probably before a zombie apocalypse. Hi, Elizabeth Fuller. Oh, you think I'm amazing? That's so sweet. Thank you. You're amazing too. Okay, so Tina Perucci. She's talking about M. Lendell. I don't know anything about this. Was told by Judge Carl Nicholas that the lawsuit filed by Dominion will not be dismissed. Judge Nichols made it clear to Lindell. I think it's Lindell, right? Judge Nichols put forward an actual argument or shut up. What's next? Okay, so the Dominion. My thing is that I feel like that guy that lost his job because of the Dominion, because he did his job correctly, he should get his job back. Don't you think he should get his job back? The guy that got fired, who was overseeing that elections were fair in the United States. He did a great job, and then Trump fired him. Well, that doesn't seem right. Get his job back. Let's look at the Dominion lawsuits. Confusion. They have no case. There is no case. There's no data. There's no confusion over the case. The Dominion wins. They've got the wish card, Queen of Wands moving in strong and independent, and then it tapers out into Queen of Cups, which would lead me to think flighty, right? With the with the moon card. So it could be flighty, questionable behavior. Also, you have a theft here, some kind of theft taking place. So there was an attempt to steal the election. They're good. I don't know how they're going to settle out of court because they're in too much trouble. But that Cindy Powell lady, I think she's in trouble here because there's some legal action being taken against several people. It looks like Dominion will win, and it looks like there's some kind of settling out of court where they're going to have to settle out of court because these people don't have enough money to come up with everything Dominion wants from them. So they have nothing. They have nothing to present. Confused, attempted to flee. Well, I think what preppers should do is start eating it, or they can give it away. Look, you should have some prepped food, but 10 years and 10 years worth of ammo because you really believe this is the danger of Hollywood. This didn't take off until those zombie movies started taking off. Then everybody, you can't tell me there's no correlation. But it's also heavily been connected to the churches. The evangelical churches are promoting it, and then they're trying to get people to sell their stuff. Buy my canned spaghetti, and it's just very strange. So they seem to be making it part of their religion to prep. Oh, I want a wood stove too, Maxine Waters. I grew up with a wood stove, and I absolutely love them. Best taste in food is cooked on a wood stove. Don't know why, but it's true. All right, so we have a question here from Joanna Carson. She wants to know if Ginny Thomas was at Trump January 6th speech. Well, I thought she was. Will she be charged or ruin her husband's career? That's a good question. Wouldn't we all like to know? Oh, Dominion dropped the case against Rudy and Kraken lawyer. According to that, they had some kind of agreement to settle. So that's probably what you're talking about. Well, it could be that they agree to something. I don't know. I couldn't see it, but there was definitely an agreement there. All right, what's going on with Ginny Thomas? What's going on with the future of Ginny Thomas? They followed the money. She was linked to, she gave money and she was caught. She gave financial compensation. And then where did the money come from? That is the investigation with the January 6th Commission, because this took a tremendous amount of money. Evidently, the Koch brothers, they're based in Russia, and they've refused to close down their businesses in Russia. So where she's at right now, so money is coming from so this whole seedy, creepy con thing with this questionable money sources is starting to be the issue. She's confused. And then they traced her bringing in money for something like how many buses? I don't want to mention the wrong amount, but it was a lot of buses. So then the question becomes, where did she get the money? Did it come out of her own pocket? Or was it part of some fund? Oh, no, we'll take it from the such and such fund. What's the such and such fund? Oh, it's a fund. We can get access to the money to help pay for these buses. Okay, so she accesses the money. So the question is then, who are the benefactors? Who put the money in the fund that Jenny had access to that allowed for this protest to take place. So that becomes the issue, and then it takes you to the money. So she paid for it is not the beginning of the that's not the beginning of the answer from what they're saying. What they're saying here is that she was able to organize, Ginny Thomas was using money or funds that were supplied by some type of nonprofit organization that allowed her to have access to funds. And so that becomes the investigation, and it becomes the investigation that becomes that there's criminal activity over who funded this and where the money came from and what organizations participated. And that's the nature of the investigation. So a judgment comes down. So she's actually facing legal consequences. You see a judgment here, but then over the issue of her having access to the money, jail, 9 of Wands. So again, all this crap about everything that Russia did, all the money, the dark money, putting $1 million into a private nonprofit so that being a dark donor, all of the stuff that they accused Hillary Clinton of. But then when you go back here, you actually find this is what they were doing with right-wing Federalist GOP organizations that were taking funding from questionable organizations. And that's basically what they're saying. You see here again, the donor in the conflict. Here's the donor. So I don't know. I don't know the law. I mean, are there any federal lawyers here? We usually get a couple of them. I don't know what the law is. Is it legal to do that? If you are a nonprofit organization that supports the Federalist Society and you're raising money for activism, and then you end up fronting, $100,000 to bankroll this protest, is this legal? And Ginny is associated with that organization and says, I can get the money. That's basically what happened. I don't know. What do you get her? What is she going to go to jail for? Taking money from a recognized nonprofit? I don't think so. But then the nonprofit or whoever was taking the money, they have to be investigated. Then they're taking the money. Is any of this illegal even? I don't know. But at the very least, you would think it should become public. It's probably going to become public because usually when we get into files like the files we just got into on Ginny and the fact that she was getting money from a nonprofit that had questionable, the fact that information that we just got, if we got it, it's because the files are there somewhere and they're going to get leaked. Oh my God. Crazy times we live in, right? Okay, so next question is coming from Kimberly. Hi, Kimberly. Is everybody liking and subscribing? And feel free to join. Fairies and angels. We have a lot of fun little get-togethers. Lock her up. She does have a chance of getting locked up, Kimberly. Because there was a jail card there. All right. So, Kimberly, Putin spoke about cleansing society. That's what Hitler was doing. True. Well, that's what he was. Yeah. Will NATO or United Nations do something before it gets out of hand? Good question. Is NATO going to do something about Putin? What is NATO going to do about Putin? What is going to happen? happened to Putin? What is NATO going to do to Putin? They're definitely going to give aid to Ukraine. You can see there's a movement. There's physical movement with NATO. There's stress over the Ukraine, over Ukraine, and that's partly because I don't think that they feel like they have the power to deal with this, like the fact that this onslaught is right on Kyiv. You do have aid here coming in, and a transformation of the situation is coming. They're going to help. I think we could see NATO going to war with Russia with these cards. It looks like controlled military actions. Not a lot of military actions. It looks like possibly a series. Here they are traveling, NATO, to help, Ace of Cups. Over the stress, the sun is coming over the people of Ukraine. And then over the issue of charity and assistance, taking captive to safe waters. This is the captives card, sometimes known as the captives card. Final outcome, a judgment comes. So they make a judgment. They make a calculated judgment regarding the issue. And I would not be surprised if yeah, I think NATO's going to come in. Look, when how important is this to NATO? That's what we have to ask ourselves. How important is this to us? Because if it's important to us, we're going to do everything we can to protect Zelensky so that it can become a NATO country. Because right now, what Zelensky is saying is, okay, I guess we're just never going to be part of NATO. We're just going to have to share trade with Odessa. We're just going to have to make some concessions with Russia, and that's just where it's going to have to be. He's talking this way as a realist. That, to some extent, has to scare NATO, because he's basically saying, well, I guess we're going to have to do a partial surrender since you guys couldn't get your crap together and you just gave us a couple of drones, and it's obvious that we're just not going to have a NATO. That should put fire under NATO. You're either going to do something or not, because if this is the best you're going to do, we're ready to make a deal with them. And I don't think NATO wants that. So we have to decide, how important is it? Do we lose and just let Russia and Ukraine and open the pores just do what you want? Just let us be, we want to have some independence, but you take what you want. Is that the best answer for NATO? And I don't think it is. So, all right. So this question is coming from Mel Broussard. She wants to know, oh, thank you, Red Gypsy. Hey, we were running low on that catnip, so thank you, Red Gypsy. It's much appreciated. I do appreciate that. Okay, Mel Broussard. Could the Russian military do a coup against Putin? Let's take a look. Slippery slope. Are they going to take over? Is the Russian military going to do a coup against Putin? Hiding in his bunker. Boy, he's not like Zelensky, is he? you believe in what you're fighting for, you should come out and fight like an adult, not hide in your bunker, right? Putin's become increasingly isolated from his military. I think some of you know that he's got some of his security people now under house arrest. Anybody who questions him, anybody who he feels is responsible for doing anything wrong, they're going to jail. He's not going to jail. Doesn't want to listen to what they have to say. He's become increasingly agitated. He's not open to reason. He's lashing out, paranoid, and he's putting other people's lives at risk. You can see here, refusing to listen, and then there's a tower moment. He's not listening, and he's refusing, and his people are trying to help him. Look at this, foolish behavior leading to heartbreak. He put himself in this situation. The sun comes out. The final outcome for him is the Hanged Man with the Pentacles. It will end. It will not end well. Look, one of two things is going to happen. Either he's going to have to work it out, or it's going to end with, number one, he could be suicidal. There's some evidence that he's suicidal. I don't know. I've heard that, but we'll take it with a grain of salt, given his personality. So the fact that he had the Hanged Man and the Knight of Pentacles, which would be to end it, hanging it up ends it, means either there's going to be a military coup, which has happened in the past in Russia, right? There's been all kinds of military coups, starting with Nicholas, right? Tsar Nicholas would be an example of military coming in. But with that kind of an outcome, it leads me to suspect that the power is going to be taken out of Putin's hands. That's how I would interpret it, because it gets hung up and it gets removed. So either a coup could take place, something happens that ends it. And with the cards coming in from NATO, they're going to get involved, even if it's a very quick, limited, working with Navy SEALs and Green Beret to go into certain areas, like sending in a high reconnaissance, teams to take back control over those nuclear power plants. There's a lot of things that they could do. All right, so Maxine Water, she wants to know about Belarus. So y'all know that some people are saying that he met with Belarus. He's trying to get Belarus to agree to fight with him. Do you all know about that? So let's see if Belarus is going to be involved. What's interesting is that even Turkey has sent weapons and supplies to Ukraine to protect itself from Russia. And Turkey was they were doing Turkish stream through the Russian pipeline going through Turkey, right? Under the Black Sea, right? So now everything's coming together from what Putin was saying versus what we were hearing. And then now that we're there as a remote viewer, you can kind of see why Putin is so angry, why he's so impatient. Look, the more you try to talk to the guy, the more angry he becomes. But even his own allies have fled, like Turkey. So I wouldn't be surprised if he loses Belarus as well. Cuba wants nothing to do. Same thing, confused. They're fighting. Belarus is actually fighting with Putin, and they don't want to participate, and they've moved on. No, Belarus does not want to join the fight. They're confused about the request. They're fighting amongst themselves. Belarus may pull out of the fight, and they move on. So it looks to me like Belarus does not want to even be in the middle of this. He's been abandoned by everybody. This goes back to why Putin keeps talking about threatening people. That if you don't see things his side, it's because you're against Russia and you're a viper. And I mean, he said some crazy stuff. He never talks like that. So it's kind of a crazy thing. Crazy, crazy, crazy. Yeah, Debbie. Debbie Brady is asking a really interesting question, which has to do with how the Russian people are going to cope with it. Are they being warned that there's a potential for a nuclear threat? How bad is he going to be persecuting regular Russians just because they're protesting? Because there's an all blackout of the media right now. Okay, let's see about how the Russian people are going to do under Putin. So is anybody planning on doing anything for St. Patty's Day? Gonna go out? Gonna make some corned beef? Guess what I'm making for St. Patty's? Has nothing to do with St. Patty's. I'm making chili. I'm making homemade chili. Homemade chili and homemade cornbread. I have no idea what that says about me, but anyway. I think the majority of Russian people are going to be okay. There's something here. See, this is what's so weird about it. Putin comes across as nuts, but the Russian people always come across as like really nice, compassionate, trying to help each other, trying to get through difficult times, healing for the people, creative, artistic. This is the Russia card, Mother Russia. Hardworking, going into smoother waters. Heartbreak. There's a lot of heartbreak over, people feel heartbreak when they start to find out what's happened. But no, I think the people are going to be separate. There's a feeling of this being separate. Boy, somebody needs to get in and take control of Putin because he's really lost his marbles. I don't know. Ooh, Geocosmic Valentine. She's going to make cookies or cupcakes. I was going to make cornbread. Is that right? But it was going to be sweet cornbread to go with my, that's a good idea, right? And then I'll just use some of the xylitol and a little bit of brown sugar. So it's 50% less sugar, or I don't know. I'll figure it out. Oh, you've got a cold. Well, corned beef might be good for a cold, right? Chicken noodle soup, corned beef, good proteins. Oh, Humanigeneric 777. She doesn't celebrate St. Patty's Day because they drove her snake ancestors out. Yes, I've heard that. Yes. Could use an Irish cream. An Irish cream. Irish coffee with Kahlua cream. What's that? Irish coffee? It's got whiskey and whiskey and cream, right? Well, if anybody is in Portland and wants to drag me down somewhere, I'm game. My last reading's at 6 o'clock. Maybe I'll go out and find some corned beef or something. Has there been an attempt on Putin's life? Oh, I think we already did a reading on that. Yeah. I think that's why Putin has gotten so cray-cray, is because how else would America have gotten all that military information? He's going to hit here. How did we know all that? Where are we getting our intelligence? We're getting it probably from the Israelis. And the Israelis are probably getting it because they give intelligence to everybody. But we also have our own intelligence. But they have a large population of Russian-speaking spies. So for Putin, it's complete paranoia, right? Because who the hell is telling everybody what he's doing? Obviously, somebody high up in the military. Otherwise, how else would we have this information, right? Has there been an attempt on Putin's life? Yeah, I think there was an attempt on Putin's life. I think it was started by somebody possibly in a position of power, possibly a rival oligarch. And I think one of the reasons why he's isolated is because of fear of these types of assassinations. But this looks like somebody who's very wealthy in a position of power, who has a way of getting in, possibly an oligarch or somebody close to him. Stressing, confused, somebody close to him. But it would have to be somebody close to him with a lot of wealth who has power and access to him. And somebody who nearly succeeded. It's like you can't eat, you can't sleep. What can you do? He's very close to getting himself either removed or assassinated if he's not careful. He's in answer to your question, Joanne, Putin has assassination and death right over him. So I don't know what people can do, if they can just get him some psychiatric help or something, because this guy, no bueno. Look at this, stressing out, in the grave, pause. He's really coming loose. He's crazy. Lunatic, the moon. Also, he's got 7 of Cups. The sun is coming out. 10 of Swords. He's going crazy from his own paranoia. I would not be surprised. Look at that, 10 of Swords. I've been betrayed. I would not be surprised if he had multiple attempts on his life. And the constant fear that somebody's going to come out and get him is in and of itself creating all kinds of mental health problems for Putin. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine having to live like that, wondering if your maid is in on it? You know, where does she take the clothes to be dry cleaned? Wondering if your chef is in on it. Wondering if your security people, your best friend who's, you know, you're the godfather to his children, right? Putin's the godfather of some of these oligarchs' children. But secretly, it's like the Godfather. They're trying to slither into your compound and do little things, and you're becoming increasingly isolated. That's what it looked like. And then when you step back energetically, like, who has the power and the wherewithal to get in and get this close to him? It's these wealthy, powerful oligarchs who have relationships with the military. So you have strong political leadership in Russia, but you also have oligarchs, and there's kind of this back and forth. That's what it looked like. So yeah, they've tried to kill him. And it looked like they were going to succeed if he wasn't careful. Okay, so Heather wants to know, today P&O Ferries made all their UK staff redundant. Yeesh. and are going to bring in foreign workers instead. The company is owned by a company in Dubai. Is Russia involved in this? Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Getting rid of UK staff, are they? P&O Ferries. Let's take a look. They're saying that it was a business decision because they felt that look, if it's out of Dubai and then they're taking foreign workers out of Dubai that are coming from the Philippines or someplace like that, it looks like it's a better financial situation. This is talking about a good financial situation. So they made an economic decision, Page of Pentacles. They were hanging up staff. There was some confusion. The way that they did things versus the way the British were doing things. There was also a bit of a disagreement in terms of how they wanted to handle things. And then the company has an Ace of Wands. They felt it was a good financial business. I'm not seeing Russia being a part of it. They were just trying to save money. Yeah, they just wanted a more streamlined, more economically feasible. Kind of reminds me of what I saw when I was on the cruise, is that you'd have an American company, but a lot of the people that were taking care of us on the cruise were from the Philippines, and they were going to be working for a year. So, and then they go back to the Philippines. It had that kind of an aspect to it. So Jody Rogers, you said Jody Rogers has an interesting comment here for those of us who don't know anything about it. She said, your mother made the best Blarney stones for St. Pat. I haven't eaten one in 16 years. What is a Blarney stones? You should make Blarney stones today, and then you should tell us how they turned out. Oh, Marie Henson. Oh my goodness. Marie. She writes, Russia took portable cremation units to Ukraine to hide how many people had actually died. There are some rumors. They're trying to get information about just how many people died. But yeah, it's really pretty horrible, isn't it? TK, Putin asked people to taste his food. I didn't know about that. Don't they have like regular people that do that? I wouldn't be able to live like that. It would just drive me out of my freaking gourd. Huh. Well, if Brexit could also be messing with people's businesses, right? So if they said it was too big of a hassle to work with Britain because of everything that happened so they just went with their own people, that makes sense. Sounds like Brexit was a disaster economically for, how many people support Brexit now in Britain, I wonder? I wonder how many people. Hi, Joel Tilson. Question that we have to ask ourselves: Putin and the oligarchs, do you think that their money should be the money that all these yachts and everything that are being taken, should we take their money and use it to rebuild Ukraine? Should there be financial consequences? I think so. I think so. Oh, thank you, Shop Girl. Says I look good in my green. Thank you. What about Brexit? I don't understand the question, Belle Broussard. She says Brexit. I mean, my question is, Does anybody feel good about Brexit? Like Joel Tilson says, Brexit is a disaster. What is Brexit's support right now in Britain? I'm just curious. Anybody happy about it? Mila I got her, she was 1 year old in, I think it was 2014. So I think she's about 9 years old. She's becoming a senior. Yeah, she's a good little kitty. Yeah, CNN said that they'd heard about it, but they couldn't confirm it. So, gonna have another cup of tea. Did I like my present? Oh, I haven't gone to pick up any presents, but if you mailed me a present, then thank you. I will definitely show it when I get it. So what do y'all think? Any more questions before we close today? Kind of fun to hang out on. So is anybody going out to who here is going out to a pub tonight? They're going to have some beers, some green beer, and they're going to do the whole corned beef. How many are staying home and having corned beef? Or how many are like me, staying home and doing cornbread and chili? I don't know. Oh, you like my office space? I do too. America is bombing Somalia. Oh, God. Doing shots of rum at home. Irish soda bread. That I need to learn how to make. Sausage hash tonight. That sounds delicious. I like bratwurst with onion and sauerkraut. Oh, yeah, I can do that. Ooh, J Cat Lady's having. Where do you live? Can we come eat over at your place, J Cat Lady? She's having corned beef with potatoes and cabbage. Can I bring dessert? Ooh, Geo Cosmic's going to do the sandwich this year. I like that. You can go out or you can have it delivered through. See, I discovered Uber Eats during the whole crisis. You know, we couldn't go out, and so I was doing Uber Eats. Darren, will there be a World War III? Going out to have Thai food. Amen to that. Can't say no to Thai. All right, let's look at the possibility that we're in the verge of World War III and it's all going to end, in which case there's no need to prep. Right? Tell the preppers, save your money. World War III, there'll be nothing left. Save your money and go on a vacation. Wouldn't you rather go to Acapulco? Wouldn't you rather go on a vacation somewhere, like if you're going to go down, just go to the South Caribbean, or, you know, do you really want to live in some hellish world with zombies chasing after you, where you got to like cut their heads off or something? I mean, however it works. I mean, enjoy your life. I mean, that's the message from Spirit. Enjoy your life. Stop worrying about any of this. You have no control over it. Be a good person. try and be a super saver, right? Who here's a super saver? You're saving money for your retirement, eating a mostly plant-based diet, reducing your animal consumption. These are the things we can. Do I have meat in my chili? I made a big giant thing of chili, and then I meditated and I said, is this going to be enough protein for me? And my body said, no, it isn't. So, and it's going to be too much carbs and it's not enough protein. So I put a third of a pound of turkey in it. And then when I meditated, it said, my body said, you could have actually gone to half a pound. So I think you just have to listen to your body. Like, I can do well on, I try to have at least one vegan, it's easy to do one vegan meal a day. All you have to do is have your breakfast be a morning smoothie that's plant-based. And then you can say, okay, I knocked one vegan meal out of the ballpark, right? And then if you can try and have scatter a couple other vegan meals throughout the week, a couple lunches, you're doing pretty good for yourself. Okay, are we at World War III? That's the question. I keep saying economic decisions, masters, brokering deals. No, it's going to end probably without World War III, which will disappoint some of the evangelicals, I'm sure. They look like they're excited about it. No, we can see a financial offer. We need a peace treaty. We need everybody to feel like they're sharing. But something like financial offer always comes in, and here comes the masters. Then you have the Hermit, which is scholarship, and it ends. So we're not looking at death, destruction, and it's a scary thing to contemplate. But when you actually look at the cards and you look at what is going on in the world, yeah, Putin could do something really crazy. He's definitely acting crazy. But more than likely, he's going to be slowly and systematically contained, controlled, and removed. There are a lot of people trying to get rid of him. Looked like the oligarchs tried to take him out a couple times. That seems to be where most of this is coming from. Possibly people in the military that are working as double agents. That's definitely happening. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to have the type of intelligence that we have. And I think that similar to North Korea, they've exaggerated their capacity, their military capacities, which are actually really horrible. And you can see here money and strength, experts of the world coming together, justice prevails with scholarship. Look at this together too, mastery and scholarship. So intelligent heads prevail. Masters who? The world masters. What do the scholars do? They seek justice. A thief attempts to flee, but it won't work. He fails. He is stopped. So the thief attempts to flee and is stopped. And that goes probably for everybody that participated in this regime. If Putin was helping other people, then those people are also probably going to be going down. Well, it's interesting. Some of the fighting that Putin's been having with his generals as well, right? Yeah, my protein powder is Protein and Greens by Paradise. You can get it on iHerbs for $19. Even cheaper, I found out, than on Amazon. Somebody found it there for me, and I was like, great. And I ordered two of the jugs. But I would strongly recommend Protein and Greens by Paradise because it's 24 servings of fruits and vegetables, plant-based, and you'll get it's so nutritious. It's got the all of the vegetables in the garden that you would need. The broccoli, the tofu, the broccoli, the spinach, etc. And then it's got the adaptogenic mushrooms in it. It's got the gandoderma, the reishi, the shiitake, the lion's mane for brain health. It's also got the adaptogenic herbs for brain and kidney function in it. It's ashwagandha, holy basil, rhodiola, schisandra, ginseng, erythrococcus. These are the power adaptogens. So you've got the cancer preventative mushrooms. It's just the best formula I've ever found was protein and greens. And I have it, I try to have it at least 5 times a week. So that's giving me 5 vegan meals a week also. I usually put some frozen berries and some oat milk in it to lower cholesterol. Half a banana to sweeten it. That's right, Barb. Belarus wanted out. The name is called Protein and Greens, and the company is Paradise. What's it called? Protein, and I should work for this company by Paradise. Oh, Malomir, are you doing it too? If you want, I can go and grab it and show it to you since I'm not going anywhere tonight. I can hang out with you folks a little longer. Let me go get you the thing so I can show it to you. Thank you for your patience, all 1,023 of you hanging out with Whimsy. This is the best food for the human body. Hands down, I don't work for the company. Paradise. And these are all the foods in it. Look at this. So, organic wheat, kamut, that's wheat grass, so there's no gluten in it. Kamut, alfalfa, barley, oats, spirulina, chlorella. This is all organic. Spinach, broccoli, parsley, kale, tomato, quercetin, acerola, camu, amla, asahi, goji, the immune beta-glucan mushrooms, agaricus, cordyceps, maitake, reishi, and shiitake, probiotics, super antioxidants of organic green and white tea, grapeseed. No caffeine, though. It's the extract. Organic berry blends of strawberry, raspberry, blueberry, cherry, pomegranate, cranberry, the liver cleansing herbs, milk thistle, artichoke, erythrococcus, rhodiola, reishi, mushroom, holy basil, ashwagandha, astragalus, schisandra, goji, cordyceps, American ginseng, licorice, ginger, acai berry, maca, turmeric, cinnamon. Obviously, this is really good stuff. So I get 2 scoops of this every day, and I physically, because of the adaptogens that are in this, I physically feel better because I'm having a large amount of Chinese adaptogenic herbs and mushrooms every day. And $19, you're not going to get this is the best protein shake. Kachava is like 80. Come on, and kachava has stuff in it that's not that healthy. Like it's got a form of vitamin B that's really cheap. They should sponsor me because I've gotten so many people on this product. And then when I found out you could get it for $19 on iHerbs, because I was spending $25, It's half the size of a large cachava, which runs about $80. So if you were to buy 2 of these, instead of being $80, it would be less than $40. And cachava is not as healthy a product because cachava contains cyanocobalamin, which is cyanide-based B vitamins, and this does not. This is just 100% organic plant food. 58.69. Where did you get for what? Yeah, it's not as good. How many calories? 39.95 for 60 servings. 15 servings is okay. So that would be, so cachava is about 80. So yeah, it's less than half what you would get for cachava. This is the small 15, but if you can get the 30, that would be great. Calories, not almost none, I would think, because it's just vegetables and fruits. So you're not looking at calories. You have to realize that when you're just talking about fruits and vegetables, you don't count calories. You don't count points. You don't count 125 calories for 2 scoops. It's just plants. Yeah. I usually do about 1.5 scoops, and then I'll throw in some chia. I do a really expensive one. You guys don't have to do as expensive as me. I do ground flax, I do hemp seeds, and I do chia. I do all 3. Then I throw in some frozen organic berries, some oat milk. Sometimes I throw in rice milk, half a ripe banana. These are just giving you ideas. You know, some people, they just do ground flax, frozen berries, and oat milk or almond milk. It has no sweetener in it whatsoever. I don't want a sweetener. It's just freeze-dried fruits and vegetables. So, which is what you want. You just want a base of 24 servings of fruits and vegetables with the water removed. So it's literally like you had a salad that was 24 servings. But they've freeze-dried it down to 2, 1.5 to 2. Start with just 1 if you're worried about the taste, if it's too grassy for you. Yeah, it's extremely healthy. If you just go to iHerbs, you can take a look at the ingredients. When I was working as a doctor, these different companies, I worked at a pharmacy, but that's what I would do is I would just start giving people what I thought was the best value for the buck. All right, so I think we're gonna call it a day. I think we bored a bunch of people out the door. They're like, I wanted to get a psychic reading and they're talking about breakfast cereals. There's nothing in it that it's not a medicine, it's food. So if you can eat vegetables, you can have it, Wendy. So no, it's not going to be contraindicated. There's no blood. It's not like it's going to cause blood thinning or something, unless your doctor wants you to stay off green leafy vegetables because you're on something that's some type of a blood thinner. Yes, I'm a doctor. Been there, done that, got the scars. Well, some people don't consider me a doctor. I'm a naturopathic doctor. I'm not an MD. Oh, you got 22% off your first order. Who'd you order with? Good to know. There are almost 1,000 people. There were 1,000, but then they took off because we're kind of finishing up and we're just talking about health. Oh, iHerbs. Good for you. Oh, we did finish. Yes. The last question was, are we going to see World War III? And the spirit said no. Doesn't mean crazy things won't happen, but the most likely outcome based on the cards right now, is that Putin will be removed from office because he's lost his mind. Yes, sad end. Sad end for this boy. 24 on Amazon, but you can get it for 19 on iHerb. Anyway. All right. Have a great rest of the day, everybody. Be well. If you're trying to get in for a reading, you can find the information below if you want to schedule an appointment. And if you are one of my new members of the Patreon, thank you so much, by the way, the people who have been joining Patreon. It's been a lot of fun. Appreciate that. How will he be removed? I think he's going to be physically removed by his own people if we don't do it. I was supposed to read about Kanye West. How many carbs? Don't worry, there's no carbs in it. It's not. These are not starchy vegetables. The carbohydrates would most likely be insoluble fiber. It's not a high carb food. Stop counting carbs. Just eat whole foods. Okay. Oh, thank you, Matter to Me. That's so kind. So Kanye West. What we're gonna do one on Kanye West. The longer he goes on, the more his ex-wife is glad that he's hanging himself. From her perspective, he's crazy. And there's a feeling here when you go into the energy that she feels safe, but that he's proving that he's completely out of his mind. Very sad. Yeah, restraining order, probably. That's true. He's always been crazy, hasn't he? My goodness. All right. Thanks, everyone. Love and light. If you're still trying to get in for a reading, you can go to tarotwithwhimsy.com. Continue to think positive thoughts. Be about your business, children. Take care of each other. Thank you, J Cat Lady, for those pretty pictures. And I'll see you next time, all right? Bye. Thanks for coming in. Thanks for hanging.